So, Akhil, thank you for taking the time to open the call today. Before I kind of jump into questions, so I'm just going to ask three questions, basically your experience with Cleverly, all of that sort of stuff. Before, we go into it, as I mentioned, the testimonial will go onto our website. Do you want to kind of give people a run back or a run over what Crasimo does? Any insight there?
Oh, yeah. So Crasimo sells AI services fundamentally. So we're kind of a niche boutique agency that solves complicated AI problems. We're a group of 7 people that work together at Google, and we tend to take on more complex problems around compliance, around medical related AI, around construction, legal work, basically work where there are high stakes and people really want like excellence, reliability, and predictability from their systems as opposed to, the standard vibe coded stuff. So that's about us. And yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for the background. So just basically jumping into the first question, just want to kind of get your background and your experience. I know I, only took over your account a few weeks ago. Any sort of background of your experience with Dylan, your previous account manager? And then also on top of that, how was the transition over to me? Obviously, did you feel a disruption in campaigns? Anything from your side with the previous account manager?
No, I think that mostly Cleverly was good. I think the interface was easy to use. The transition to you was easy. I think if you're asking sort of why we didn't move forward, it's basically because what I found was the writing wasn't as different or amazing as I was kind of hoping for, because to be honest, we are really good engineers. We are able to set up a LinkedIn automation. We are able to set up cold email. We're able to warm up our emails. We can do all of that. Right. The truth is we have such good profit margins and stuff that if I can outsource a bit of work to someone else and you convert like one extra client for me every 2 to 3 months, you've paid for yourself 10 times over. It's not for a $2,000 a month service to pay for itself. The issue I was having was that, and really, when I was evaluating providers, the reason that I chose Cleverly was specifically you guys mentioned, the guy who sold me on it kind of mentioned that your writers, you had these writers from, I think he mentioned they were from Harvard or whatever, and they were really, really good at creating content. And I really thought the outreach would be super different, just something really catchy, something really, that other people don't do. And the outreach was fine, it was good, but just from a pure statistical numbers perspective, it wasn't actually beating our out. So that's kind of that was sort of because there are services that will do without the writing and without the managed aspect. There are services that do this for $300 a month. But everything else about Cleverly, and to people who don't have the technical know-how to do this, I think it's a great service. I've actually recommended it to someone who's, not as tech savvy. So yeah.
Awesome. And then just touching on your point there, when you are running it internally, are you running that on sort of the email side or LinkedIn? Are you running it internally on email as well currently? I know you said you have the technical capability to do so.
Okay,
yeah, awesome.
We're doing both. Yeah.
Yeah. So then just kind of jumping into the other question, we'll just jump right into it. So with Dylan, did you test different messaging, different targeting? How was that sort of approach? Did you guys have a lot of check-in calls with the different, approaches before the campaigns?
Yeah, it was pretty normal. I think that one thing that he did, which most of the stuff he did was really solid. I think most of the messages were pretty effective. We got a really decent response rate on LinkedIn, honestly. I think one thing that he did that I didn't agree with was that I think he optimizes for a high response rate rather than a high intention. So just as an example, right? If someone like me who owns a company and, you can Google the company and it's quite easy to find out what I do. If I reach out to an accountant and say hey, I'm trying to connect with accountants, everyone's going to respond because they think I'm trying to hire them, right? But that's not really valuable to me. I'm trying to sell them something. So there are things that get a high response rate that aren't really good outreaches. So that's one thing that I felt like I had to tweak with Dylan is I want the first message to be clear, hey, I'm trying to sell you something. Because to be honest, when someone reaches out to me and makes it seem that they're trying to hire me and then they're trying to sell me something, I get pissed. That happens all the time, cold emailing and LinkedIn. And that just that contract is done for me. I get really annoyed by that. So I really didn't want to do that. And that was something that maybe the first campaign got wrong. Because I think that first campaign had an insane response rate, 30+%. But it was all people that thought I was trying to hire them, and so yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the insider, Akhil. That's all the questions from my side. Is there any questions you have before I close out your account? I will just get back to you on the LinkedIn side, just kind of confirm that on that end. That'll, in the next hour I'll have that answer for you. But anything from your side?
No, that was it. Thank you so much.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time, Akhil. I really appreciate it. And then wishing you the best going forward.
All right, thanks. Oh, also, like, in terms of my feedback, please take. I also really appreciate that you guys do month to month. Almost no one does that, and it just shows that you don't want to keep someone that it's not working for. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I'm like happy to give you guys a good review or whatever. But yeah, all right.
Awesome. I'll let the team know.
All right, thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much, Akhil. Have a great day.